sometimes people have what it takes, but they haven't recognized it yet. Just go forward. So what do you need to do? How do you stand out? So what you need to do is be that person that's different and is bigger than you think. Rise from the ashes and fly like the phoenixes that you are. All right, welcome. Hello. We're already a few minutes into this conversation, boys and girls. So if you missed it live, I'm sorry. We're still talking content. So it's kind of an informal session. All right. Thanks for the reminder for us. Okay. What else do we have as far as content, guys?
So a question regarding creating content, video content. Do you have any recommendations for any software out there, apps for creating content? I know there's some AI stuff out there, or do you have any other comments about how to create content for a video?
There's a ton of apps out there. There's a lot of AI. Like, I just haven't used enough of it. Canva, I think Michelle was messaging me about Canva and what to do there. Canva's an easy one to use. Instagram now, like if you want to do a quick video, I prefer, because with stories, you can film it on Instagram and then push it to your Facebook, right? You can do it the other way too. I'm just more comfortable with the Instagram video than Facebook stories. And I'm sure it's, when I think about it, they're almost exactly the same because they're the same company, but you can push from one to the other. You don't have to get much more complicated than that to begin with, guys. I want to be real clear about that. So there are some apps that you can do some serious editing. If you've got an iPhone, you have iMovie, you have all this stuff, you can edit all sorts of things with just your smartphone. And Android has the same capabilities, guys. People are filming whole movies with just their phones. You can do it. If you want to get fancier, you can. The key is getting something done and getting it out there. So lighting, audio, and image, and your message. Start with that. Okay. So, when it comes with stories, for example, what you want to do, so there's a lot of different options. You can do something like you can do slow motion with your video in your stories, right? You can do a time lapse. You can share someone else's thing. You can share a meme or a GIF. You can share that you've just posted a new post. You could do all of these things. Like sometimes I'll have a post that doesn't get as much attention. It's gotten 15 or 20 different interactions, whereas you'll have 150, 200, 500 different people that'll look at your story. So sometimes if you're, posting on the story, more people are looking at stories more frequently than they are at regular posts, because I can hop on. It's kind of like what's really going on right now. And more people are looking at that. And then, they've got a cool post that I want to see. People will blur it out. Has everyone seen that? Okay, so it shows, let me do something here. If I do a story, and I've got, because I can't really show you stories on my computer. So let's say I've got a story here that I want to use. So I posted one, I think, a minute ago with there's me walking by the lake, right? So you can take this. I'm on Instagram. And there's a little squiggly line at the top. If any of you guys have your phones and you're not, if you're watching on your computer, you have your phone, this is an easy way to do it. So you have these squiggly lines at the top. I can do this. And then I can, let's say I pick yellow, and you can block it out. So you can't really see this, right? Or you have other things here. Like I can scroll up and there's going to be a new post. I think there's one which kind of blocks it. So I can put this little thing on that says new post, right? Which just says, hey, go take a look at my profile. I've got something cool there. Right? That's it. Privacy policies on iOS and every other platform, every other thing you're on, there's always something new. But this is why we also talk about doing organic and not just paid ads, because there's, with some of these privacy things, you're not going to see as many, the same types of ads. to think that we're not going to see ads anymore and ads are going to just completely go away is ridiculous. It's not happening. Okay. We're going to get ads, and we're still going to continue to get the creepy ones where you're talking about something and then all of a sudden you're like, why am I seeing an ad for this? It's still going to happen, guys. There's always going to be a way around the system. I'm just going to tell you that now. But, the organic side from a marketer's perspective partly shows that you're real. So when people look at your page, it's not just, like when I see someone that doesn't have anything on their page, I'm sorry, that throws up a flag for me. Now, if I see something that's really interesting, I'll go look at, and their Facebook doesn't have much, for example, I'll check and see if they've got Instagram. Because I know plenty of people that like that's their main focus. They're not on Facebook, or vice versa. They're 100% Facebook. Their Instagram has very little. I know a guy that's got 500,000-600,000 followers on YouTube, subscribers on YouTube, and like 1,500 on Instagram. Guys, you can pick a platform and crush it. Okay, it doesn't have to be just, you don't have to try and do everything. But like Facebook and Instagram, it goes to Michelle, I think, had messaged me and asking. So she works with divorced women is the key element. If I'm not mistaken, Michelle, if you're still on, I think that's who she works with. And then she was asking about single women. Like if we're doing business, if you're doing divorced women to help them because you've got some other product, then great. If it's divorced women business owners, then I'd probably just go women, right? Or single women in that regard. Because I don't know how you would niche down, like how you would find them, unless there's like, if you go find Facebook groups and there's divorced women Facebook business owner groups, I just don't know how many there are out there. Do you know what I mean, Michelle?
Yeah. Yeah. Hi. I'm not actually going after the business owners type. I'm just going after persons.
Okay. Well, but with the basic partner program, you're going after business owners. You're helping business owners with their leads. That's what you're selling, is something to help business owners, right? Because otherwise, if I'm a newly divorced woman, I don't want to build up my social media real big unless I'm like shedding, the past. And so, hey, I want a following because I need some kind of that attention, which is fine. I'm not, nothing wrong there. Or they're saying, I don't want the attention at all. So they're not trying to build. But with I'm just talking partner program. If you've got something else that you're selling to help them with their recovery through that process, right? Then find groups for divorced women. You can offer both at the same time though. Hey, I'm going to help you through this process. But if you have a business, if you're a woman and have a business, let me help you with your business. So I would put the two hand in hand personally. Okay. And as far as women on Instagram, there's, it was like 56% of users on Instagram are women, right? And to think that, over 30 isn't on there, it's just not true anymore. That's just kind of the world that we're in. They're there, on a bigger scale than you think. If you've got in the US, a couple 100 million more than that are on Instagram. Well, that's a big part of the population. It is what it is. The numbers work out. So they're there. You just got to find them. And that's where, and the way to do it on Instagram, because you don't have groups, and this is why groups are so important on Facebook. On groups on Facebook, people are going to congregate. If I'm using Instagram, then I've got to find those influencers. Right? And I'm commenting and I'm building there. Does that make sense, guys?
Okay. Speaking of building, as you're saying, and having that right group of people, because everybody knows I DJ. Mm-hmm. That's a hard one to find the right group of DJs or owners or mobile business or wedding business. Mm-hmm. That's a tough one. So what is your take
on Instagram or on Facebook?
Actually, both.
Okay.
Have you looked at event planners?
No, I actually haven't. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, event and wedding planners, but I mean, if you're just talking about finding groups of those people, I don't think it's as hard as you think.
I mean, there's thousands of groups when it comes to DJs, but quite frankly, that's not going to help my niche. It's not going to help anything. I'm looking more for the owner side.
Right.
So I think event planners are a big target for you.
Okay. Well, I appreciate that. Thank you.
That's just my opinion.
So are you looking, but are you going straight after what, like DJs?
Well, as far as mobile DJ owners, for those that are in the business, not the DJs themselves, because like I said, that's not going to help me.
Well, I don't know. How many of them are owner operators? I think a lot of them are.
A lot of them are operators.
So then it is the DJs, right? So now some of these groups, I just put in wedding DJs and I looked up groups. So the first couple, 200 members, 500 members, although it might be interesting to play around in there, see what's there, right?
Yeah.
Here's wedding and event DJ entertainers, Florida wedding and event professionals, right?
That's one I missed. Okay.
You're going to get a lot of those wedding and event professionals, and then everybody falls under that category, right? Orlando wedding vendors. There's 8,000 people in this group, and that's in Orlando, right? Florida wedding vendors, 4.6 thousand. I would look for not just, you may be going after full event, but wedding is going to be, weddings are the number one place you're hiring a DJ. I know you do corporate stuff all day long, and there's hey, I'm going to do a birthday party. I'm going to do this and do that. There's this get together. There's these members. There's that members. Absolutely. But the one you're going to, people are like, oh, a DJ. I wonder, well, I was at this wedding and the DJ was there. Like that's so much of where that comes from. And so you would be helping them there. And I say that because I spent a little time when I was going through all my shit. There was time when I was delivering flowers with a florist. So I was talking to DJs, different DJs, right? But that's where that umbrella, all of a sudden now I can help anybody in there, right? Oh, you're a wedding photographer? Hey, man, I'm in the same boat. Yeah, they're going to relate to you 100% because if you go to, I've still got a friend, I ended up a wedding photographer was working with the florist and they were trying, and then there was a local suit and bridal store, and they all wanted to work together to create kind of a portfolio to use for their marketing. And so I ended up helping bring in the flowers. And then one of the guys didn't show and they're like, hey, we got an extra suit. Can you throw this on, do that? Right. So I'm friends now with the photographer, and guess who she's married to? A DJ.
That's a perfect combination.
Right. But you've got so many more of those people out there that, my one friend that's a florist is married to, not a pastor, but someone that, performs the ceremonies, right? It all blends together in that industry. And we're all in industries where certain things just kind of start crossing streams, but yeah, I would.
That's quite a crossroad though, honestly. When you've got a photographer and a DJ, because my wife is photography and I'm the DJ. So technically
there you go.
Situation. There you go.
Oh, it's exactly the same situation. Yeah.
I just wanted to make sure that within my niche that it was going to be palpable having, like Rick said, okay, go more for event planners or more for wedding coordinators rather than DJs. But you just showed me, I actually wasn't exposed to that material. So I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. They're there, the DJs are there, but event planners are we've talked about kind of your power team, event planners, wedding planners, photographers, that's you. That's the same thing. You guys are walking hand in hand into every situation, right? A bunch of your business, I'm sure, is referred by one of those individuals, and then people ask you, do you know someone that does XYZ? Hey, I've talked with a photographer already. We weren't really happy with them. Do you know anyone else? Right? That's going to come up. So those are the groups for all of your businesses. If you're going after real estate, then I'm going to be in groups with, or if mortgage, there's going to be, if I'm in a mortgage group, odds are there's going to be some realtors in there or vice versa, right? If I'm doing insurance, then real estate and mortgage is part of the, it's part of the package. You may just be talking to realtors, but that's where you can find a lot of your realtors, right? Does that make sense with everybody? And that's why some of these groups, it may not be just that one niche that you're thinking about. There may be other professions there. And if you're kind of struggling, that's where understanding your audience and looking at kind of the whole thing, going, who else is interacting with these people? How can I get in front of them? That's what you do. Okay. So on that note, guys, appreciate the questions. Forrest, Rick, James, Michelle, everybody. Sue, did you have a question? We had kind of skipped over. Do you still have one?
You kind of answered it, but I just don't know where to go with my niche.
Message me some questions you've got in your niche again, and then I'll look it over and we'll chat.
Okay.
All right, guys. Appreciate you. Everybody go out. Have an awesome day. We'll talk with everybody tomorrow. Keep kicking butt on your challenges. Get to work. If you're struggling with it, know that a lot of us are struggling with it too. Push yourself. That's what this is all about. Remember, your first 10 days are going to be the most difficult. Really, mentally, this is where your body is going to bitch at you. It's going to tell you shouldn't be doing this. You're going to be a little more fatigued. Prep for it. If you know it's going to happen, it becomes that much easier. It's not that all of a sudden the strength is there, but mentally, this is what's going to get you through it. So, Nancy, you got some push-ups you're doing. Some of you other guys are doing push-ups. People are walking. People are, whatever it is, guys, just do it. Little bits.
And Segway, I just put up my background just for you. Picture the Kardashians.
There you go. I mean, that's inspiration, I guess. There you go. Sometimes people have what it takes, but they haven't recognized it yet. Just go forward. So what do you need to do? How do you stand out? So what you need to do is be that person that's different and is bigger than you think. Rise from the ashes and fly like the phoenixes that you are.